again today for another member spotlight. I'm so excited about who I have with me today. I'm gonna just give a brief introduction, and then I'm gonna let him just take over. You got this guy here. Okay, he's the owner, the CEO, and founder of Big Shot Beats. And remember this face because he's on a mission to get at least 50,000. That's 50,000 music artists on the right path to be independently successful with their music through marketing. Yes, it's such a unique, I love it because I think it's such a unique niche. It's not something that you see every day. You see a lot of coaches, you see a lot of consultants, but now we're in the music industry and he helps artists buy back their time so they can focus on their music. And he's got something coming for the artist community real soon. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Billy Inelus.
Hey, how's it going, brother? Thanks for having me here, man.
Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you start? How you got into the music industry to where you are today?
All right, so by the way, my name is Billy here from Big Shot Beats, tuning in from Toronto in Canada, born and raised in Montreal, which is also in Canada, just 4 hour east of Toronto where I live here. And, the music passion didn't start just from yesterday, right? So I grew up with my mom putting me in piano lessons. I was gravitating towards the music classes in elementary school and all that stuff. Growing up, I was in the Air Cadets and I played the baritone, the saxophone, the trombone, right? So I was in the orchestra team and everything. And like everybody else, I went to school, but I went inside of the computer science program, graduated there, and then I went to university for software engineering. But during my intern there, when I made the transition from college to university, I was working at one of the biggest network companies that there is here in Canada, which is Bell Canada, right? And I looked around me and I realized I don't think I'm going to be doing that for the next 30 years of my life, so I quit. You see what I'm saying? Like I quit that. My mom wasn't too happy about that, but she still is supportive of everything that I decided to do, right? So, I took my career towards music as, in the beginning, it was in high school, right? With childhood friends. We would do talent shows. I used to rap and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
I remember recording my voice in between two cassette deck, recording the tape, and one was recording the voice and one was playing the music and all that stuff, crazy stuff. But then at one point,
on cassette decks,
the old cassette decks recording itself with crazy stuff. So, but at one point, I realized, okay, I don't really like the spotlight, even though it was cool and all that stuff. And we were looking for beats. So I remember stumbling across a demo of a software called Fruity Loops, that it's called, right? Back in the days, that was the demo of Fruity Loops. Now it's called FL Studio, which is something that I still use today. But
really?
I started making beats, and then I kind of fell in love with that process, and I'm kind of more behind the scenes, so I was all in. I seen guys like Timbaland, Neptunes, Just Blaze and everything, so I was hooked, right? So I started working on that, and then I started building a group with some of my childhood friends. So when I quit university, I also got into the nightlife, going to the clubs and all that good stuff. And with one of my friends, what we used to do, we became promoters of some of the popular clubs in my city, in Montreal, right?
Okay.
We were doing pretty good, and we were starting to get known, and we kind of leverage off of that with our group to put our music out there. So we started to put our names out, started to recognize in the scene and everything, and that was the French hip hop scene, right?
French hip hop.
French rap, yeah. So one of my childhood friends, he's a rapper, but French, like French rap, right?
Yeah. Just a quick note. I remember hearing a French rap from Tony Parker.
Oh, yeah. Right. So he was a French rapper. We were starting to get known on the scene and everything. But sometimes when you do business with childhood friends, it may crumble, right? So we went on tour in a couple of the provinces that are out here and everything. But
Oh wow, so you were going on tour.
yeah, we started going on tour. We started to get known, but it's just like the foundation of it, because we were friends, wasn't too solid. So it kind of broke off, and I decided that I wanted to move out the city to expand on the English market, and that's what got me in Toronto, right? So
Okay.
from there, I was just chasing the majors, so I wanted to get a record with a big artist. So I started to make a name for myself, starting to go into the club, because I know, in the music industry, a lot of networking happens in nightclubs and stuff like that. Got into in the studio with guys like Jada Kiss, Gunplay, some of the artists from Rick Ross,
Oh wow.
Troy Ave, just to name a few. But that never amounted to nothing. Like I would have a record that would be recorded, but it never got places, right? So I kind of got discouraged a little bit. And one day I remember I was like, man, I need to figure this out. And I was sitting in my office. It was a little dark. I always like to, make music when it's dark, right? Like, the vibe. So I'm in there and I'm like looking at my computer. And back then, MySpace was pretty popular. So I was like, man, why don't I use the power of the internet to find upcoming artists kind of like myself? I would serve them with my beats, and then we would start building something through the online, so that we can bring something new to the music industry, and eventually, maybe hit the charts and all that good stuff. And
I love
that
it.
was the start of Big
That's
Shot
hot.
Beats. Right?
Oh,
And
that's hot.
thankfully enough, when I started this,
Uh-huh.
I started to geek out on marketing, right? So I discovered about email list building, email marketing, funnels. So even my journey with funnels didn't start just from yesterday. It started from almost 9 years ago that I've been online now, almost 10 years now that I'm thinking about it.
Wow.
And at the beginning of my journey, it's all these things. And funny enough, I stumbled upon two books. So it was the Rich Dad Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich in the beginning. And the guy that I stumbled upon online that was sharing that knowledge on YouTube, he was sharing how, you have to have the right mindset. And then he was sharing about Russell Brunson in the beginning of, the beginning of the journey of ClickFunnels and everything. And he was sharing about, email marketing, and it's really important to do this and that. Share with, lead with value, offer something for free in the exchange of an email address, and then you have a sequence and all those things.
Wow. Wow.
That was almost a decade ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's
crazy, and
it's
it put me on the
crazy.
path of
Yeah.
greatness. It was quite a roller coaster journey, but that's basically my story that led me to being where I'm at today. Yeah.
I love it. I love how it's not like funnels and marketing, they span every niche. And it's not something that you think that business owners don't need. There's
Right.
a there's a place for it in every industry, and there's a way to leverage those tools to either promote your products or services. And I think it's so super cool, Billy.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you, do you think your background in the computer engineering, do you think that helps you at all in
Oh,
the
definitely, because I went to college for computer science, so I kind of use my knowledge with that, and then I transferred over to music production, because now I became a one-man band. So I could use a software that emulates the guitar the same way that I would go about playing it for real. You know what I'm saying? So just my knowledge and my way of navigating and just being familiar with software and everything, it really helped out. So I just, took my knowledge there, my way of thinking, and I put that towards using software, computers, and everything to make the music, right?
right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would imagine that it did. So it was, you found yourself in that position, and you said to yourself, oh, I don't see myself doing this. But just the fact of going through it really has helped you in your career now. And
Right. Yes, definitely.
yes.
Especially me geeking out on all the tech stuff. Some of my friends call me the tech wizards. I go crazy about all the tech stuff, and everything that involves marketing. So yeah, it definitely helped on that part.
Yeah, yeah. And I already told you. I heard some of your beats.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
I'm
I know
like,
I'm gonna be.
whoa.
I know I'm gonna be sending some your way so that you can use with some of your stuff. So, yeah, man, I know you heard some of them.
I mean, thank you. I'm like, whoa, this is like, it's like, it's like I've never heard hold music as good as the music as the beats that you put out there. It's
Oh, I
like
appreciate it, man.
I listen to your music, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to stay on hold.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I know how to set the vibe for sure. Big
so
shot style.
so tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now, and how you're serving the music community. I know you have I've seen your YouTube channel. I've seen you do some live music reviews.
Right? Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
So basically, what I did about a little over a year ago, I took it. I made a decision basically, and I always noticed that the independent artist community, right? That means you have rappers, singers, singer-songwriters, upcoming artists that really want to emerge into the music industry. There's a few things that they are not understanding beyond making the music, because for me, music is useless if you don't know how to market it. Just like
Mm,
any kind of business, if you don't put yourself in front of the people that it's supposed to serve, it's useless. It's not going to go anywhere. So it's the
yeah,
same thing with the music, right?
if you build it, they won't come.
They ain't gonna come. You have to, put it in front of people. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of music
Yes.
artists, they have this mentality of, music speaks for itself, and I'm gonna get discovered, and all of a sudden I'm gonna get a deal and all that stuff. Well, it doesn't just work like that. So I started to notice that there was a gap and there was a need, and that a lot of music artists are not properly doing marketing. They're stuck on the MySpace spamming days, and till to this day, I'm seeing artists sending links online and saying, "Check me out," and that strategy is not really effective. So, me coming from, having a true passion with music and going through the roller coaster ride of just building my music production, building my music production online, and going broke at one point, building it up and everything, spending money on paid advertising, having to get back to get a job, and to fix the disaster and everything, you know. And it put me on a journey of really learning marketing, because at one point I had to put music on the side, right?
On the
And I
back
had
burner.
to,
Uh-huh.
figure some stuff out, and through that path, or that little segment of my life, I was on a marketing path, right? So it got crazy for me on the affiliate marketing side, which allowed me to quit that job that I got back at the time faster than I would ever think, because I made more in that week with affiliate marketing than working the whole month for the job that I had. But anyways,
Mhm.
that path, although it put my music to the side, it really helped me understand marketing. So at one point, I was making up to $6,000 in one day with affiliate marketing, but I was like, man, this is cool, but something is missing. And of course, it was the music, right? So I was like, man, I need to take that knowledge and apply that to music. So I took a step back, and I really realigned myself with my true passion with the music, but then I brought in the marketing.
You
So
combine those two. You
I
combine
combined
two
those two together,
passions. Oh,
because
I
like
love
I
it.
said, music is useless if you don't know how to market it. You could be making the best music in the world in the basement of your house, but if nobody hears it, it's not going to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm like, a little over a year ago, I said, you know what, I'm deciding today that I'm going to be on a mission to help the independent music artist community being independently successful without relying on make it happen managers, or double crossing record label deal, so that they
Mhm.
can be independently successful with their music through marketing. Because once you understand marketing, then the sky is beyond limit, right?
Mm.
So
Right, right. I
I
think.
need to make I need to make artists understand that you know, they might see an artist that is not so good, like they're not making the most perfect music, but they're out there on the charts and everything because they understand marketing,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
think
that's why I want to serve the artist community with that.
maybe they think that Justin Bieber was discovered on his talent alone. But
Well, there's talent there, but you know,
he,
hard work can beat talent if talent doesn't work. You know what I mean? So,
you got to have some marketing behind it,
right.
for it to reach the amount of people. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So, you know, it put me on that path and I made a decision. So now I'm on a mission. I want to help at least 50,000, you know, music artists being independently successful with their music so that they can turn the talent that they have with their voice into gold, right? So that they can live off of it and it's just going to create an asset for themselves so that they can have the power to say no if in the event that a, you know, record label or somebody approaches them, and if they can analyze the situation or analyze that deal, they can have the power to say no because they already have something going on for themselves. And if it doesn't make sense, then, you know, they're just going to keep doing their thing and they don't have to rely on that specifically, right? There's so many ways by being a creative out there, using the power of the internet and understanding marketing, that you can make a living off of it, that, you know, it just gives you the power, right? You self-sustain, and then you start being able to build a team. You know, you give an opportunity to for others to build with you with the vision that you have, and it just keeps expanding and everything. So yeah, this is basically the decision that I took and the mission that I'm on, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Were you able to build your own actual physical studio?
Yes, so this right here that you're looking at is my home studio, which is actually a dream of mine. You know, a little, I would say about almost a year, I would say 8 months ago, I started the project. So basically my, you know, through affiliate marketing and the things that I've been doing, I've been able to, you know, buy a house about 3 years ago. But then when you buy something new here in Canada, you have to wait till the house settles, and you have to kind of wait till everything shifts to make sure that if you start to do your basement and everything, that things, you know, don't shift and everything. So
Oh
I
yeah,
had to
the
wait a
house.
little bit because it was a new build, right?
Okay,
So,
okay.
about 8 months ago, I started to, you know, doing my basement, and basically what you're looking at is my home studio, right? So still have a few things to do, and because of all the stuff that has been happening, things got a little bit delayed with some of the stuff that I ordered to finish the build. But for the most, this is my home studio, and I have one in the city as well, which is a small recording studio that allows me to record some artists sometimes, so that I can get in and also do the in-person networking and things like that, so that I can cut some records as well. So I kind of have two locations where I can do some things, and the recording studio that I have is in the basement of a, you know, a custom clothing shop that one of my very good friends have, where music artists always comes through, because
They come to get clothes.
they come to get clothes to look fly, to look good, you know, on their videos and things that they're doing, you
And they
know,
just go down to the basement
and
to
then they go
record.
down to the basement to record, and I'm right there building some relationships and get it going that way. So it's kind of killing, you know, two birds with the one stone. So yeah, it kind of creates an opportunity there, and I got the opportunity to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I know that you've teamed up with some multi-platinum producers and worked with some big artists. Let me see if I remember some of the names here. Eminem,
Yeah,
Tech Nine,
yeah,
T-Pain,
yeah.
Pitbull,
Nelly.
Nelly,
Yeah,
Lil Wayne,
yeah.
and even more than that. And
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and just looking at your home studio, I see some awards like
Yeah.
right behind you. What are those?
Okay, so um, really, when it comes to the music industry, what's really powerful is being able to build relationships, right? So what
Mm-hmm.
happens is when you meet the one person, you don't meet the one person, you meet the one person and their network, right? So I have friends that are multi-platinum music producers, Grammy nominated, Grammy winning, right? So that gave me access to their network, and with the value that I'm able to lead with online, I've been able to build relationships and work on projects that really involves all of that in their network, and so on and so forth, right? So
Wow.
some of the words that I got is being a part of a community that I actually coach, because I coach and mentor a group of over 2,800 musicians, music producers more specifically, on funnels and marketing and all that good stuff, right? And that was just me leading with value, my knowledge, without really considering being a coach and everything. It kind of came on to me just because I was leading with value. And then this is some of the awards for hitting 5-figure per month milestones with my music production business and stuff like that. I have another one that I'm going to be getting for the 6-figure milestone and everything, and that's something that we give inside of our community, just like the ClickFunnels community, you know what I mean?
Like,
when you become a club and all that stuff, but we have different stages that we're hitting. And it kind of gamifies the community aspect of things, just like what I do with my community, right? So I never had that element in my business, and when I started to build that, I not only share some music marketing and music business tips inside of my community, but I also do live song reviews every single week, where I listen to the artist's music. And all music artists, that's what they want. They want somebody to hear the music and give them feedback. So that's why I do the live song reviews and constructive feedback show on the Big Shot Heard Music community and YouTube channel. And that's what you saw, that I got going on YouTube there. So yeah, man, that's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. But yeah, for the most, that's what it is, man.
Yes.
Network, community.
Oh man, and I love it too. I want to just because I know that you've actually done a challenge, and
Right.
are you running this challenge monthly, or was it just a one-time thing, or are you still open to for that challenge?
Man, I started challenge 2 months ago, and I did 2. And
Man.
you and I both went to the
But-
FHL, Funnel
Well, right.
Hacking Live,
Uh-huh.
and Pedro really opened my eyes to these challenges, and to me, it for some reason I've been hearing about them, but like it just didn't click, right? You know how you kind of hear it, but it just, for me, it kind of like, I don't know, it didn't seem like it's something that would fit with my business. But when Pedro came on that stage and he had that energy going, and he's like, challenge, and then he kind of broke it, he broke it down. I was like, man, I need to be doing these challenges. So in the last 2 months I did 2, and that's something that I think that I'm going to be doing every single month in my business, Myron Golden style. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I believe that challenges, do a couple of things. Number one, it sets the authority. Like it's almost like you become an authority figure, but then it helps you build that trust with your people, right? And if you already have an audience, or a list, or just like a community of people, or like just a little tribe, and you put them on that challenge, and you give them that one outcome that solves a specific pain or problem or challenge that they're having, it's just a wrap. And then with that challenge, you offer something that is the next logical step after what they went through, or after the outcome that they got from that challenge, so that they can go further with you. It's a wrap. I believe that the challenges are powerful, and it seems to be the wave now. I'm seeing a lot more of them around. And
It seems like everywhere, like 5-day challenge.
5-day
Everybody's running
challenge, 7-day challenge, 3-day challenge. This is the wave, but it's so powerful that you can't not at least implement it and give it a try with what you're doing. So basically, to me, a challenge is almost like a webinar, but split in like 5 days, 3 days, whatever you decide that it is, and then it breaks false beliefs, right? Things that may think that, or is it that certain way or not that certain way, and it really helps build trust, that barrier of who's this guy? Oh, I don't know. It just really knocks it down, and people spend some time with you during that challenge time, and it helps with the trust factor. Yeah.
Yeah, each day you're able to break down and rebuild, break down the false belief and just tell them, hey, you've been told this, but the truth is that this is what you can fund your music career.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can get back to what you love doing. Because I know just going through your challenge, I know that was a struggle. I saw all the people inside your challenge, like they were just like crawling at you.
Yeah, I mean,
They were like, just give me more. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
After sending that specific question that I asked my email list, right? That was about a couple months ago, to over 20,000 music artists that I have in my list and growing, right? So the question that I asked, and that was following one of the presentations I'm following Hacking Live too, right? So what's the number one thing that you're struggling with right now when it comes to growing or to build your music business up? And it's always those two things: not enough time or not enough money. Right? It was always those two things. So, I built those challenges around that. And the last one, I really dialed it in to really something even more specific. And I was like, okay, so what it is that I actually, absolutely know about that I'm not sharing that's going to be helpful to solve these problems. And I was like, man, I need to combine affiliate marketing that I did in that path of my journey, where it really helped me get out of whatever situation that I was, and merge it with the music. And now I'm showing artists how to utilize affiliate marketing as a way to build some passive income, which is money that they're not necessarily going to trade more of their music time for money, right? So that they can then use that and fund their music business, right? So just imagine building some passive income, and then they don't worry about their bills, not worry about anything, and then their surplus now helps them fund their music business. They become self-sustained, and then they're just doing their thing now. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to music artist with my challenge now.
Yeah. I was in that challenge, and I just saw I love the way you really had it dialed in. You had your message dialed in, and it
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you had it dialed in, and everyone was like nodding their head along.
The feedback was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember your story. Even your story was so relatable about having to go to the steps and I guess explain something to your wife that the music that you had worked on, you were going to have to slink back to corporate America, or maybe even you bounced a check or something like that.
Yeah.
But I love how specific you got. It was for me, not being a musician or anything, I could still relate to it. Yeah, definitely. And something else that I know you're pretty excited about, is I was privileged because you gave me a sneak peek into it, and I don't want to give anything away, but I absolutely love everything about it. And that is your podcast.
Yeah, man. So here's the thing. So all my life, and you guys probably, hear it. And, I always get that compliment since I was like in high school. Billy, man, you got a radio voice, man. You should be on the radio. You should be on the radio. You should be on the radio. This is literally story of my life. Like I always heard that compliment, right?
You do.
I never really did anything with it, but it's something that was always there. So Funnel Hacking Live again, I meet Mr. Myron Golden, right?
Oh, Myron.
I meet Myron Golden. I meet him in person and everything, and I got to talk to him, and he's like, Billy, man, you're gonna have to use the power of your voice. And I'm like, sure, man, yeah. But I had to let it sink in first. So I was like, this dude is so powerful. Everything that he shares, like I'm like tuned in. Whatever Myron says is like, it's literally gold, right?
He uses his voice too.
Yeah, and I was like, what does he mean by I'm gonna have to use the power of my voice? So I was like, man, okay, I need to talk to him again. So he had a panel and everything, and I kind of was waiting around, and I had that chance right there in the room to talk to him directly. Took a picture with him and everything. So I was like, Myron, real quickly, man, what did you mean by I have to use the power of my voice? He's like, Billy, man, your voice, you can, you know that one of the ways to really be effective with everything that we are doing is the power of communication, right? You know, the levels of value, right?
Yeah,
One of them is
1,000%, 1,000%. The inflections, the pauses, it's a key. It is very important.
So he's like, your voice has, man, your voice. Like, he just says your voice, and he's like, do you have a podcast? And I was like, okay, say no more. That was it. That was it. So I was like, okay, now is the time. And the funny thing is, I did start a podcast before, but it was called Affiliate Marketing Secrets in my affiliate marketing little segment there, right? But I kind of didn't pursue it. I kind of shut it down. And that was at the same time around where I took an assessment, and I was like, no, I need to realign myself with my true passion with the music, but then I would combine the marketing with it. So now I'm going to be launching my podcast, and it's literally going to be about how music artists can turn their talent with their voice into gold. Mm-hmm. And the main problem solver of that podcast is going to be showing music artists how they can be independently successful with their music. Gonna share my journey, and I'm gonna be launching this in the new year for 2022, man.
And you have, what's the name of it?
The Golden Voice Podcast by Billy Inelus.
I love it.
And the funny thing is, the Golden Voice. I have one of my friends. Do you know the record Despacito?
Yes.
Justin Bieber and the other guy.
Louis Fonsi, I think.
Louis Fonsi and Justin Bieber. So I have a friend of mine that engineered that track. Like, the track was recorded at his studio in Miami. Alex, my good friend Alex. He calls me the Golden Voice every time I come on with him, or every time I'm online live or everything. He always calls me the Golden Voice. So I was like, yo, I just talked to Myron Golden, and he said something about my voice. I mean, that's gonna be it, man. And then
that's interesting. He calls you the Golden Voice,
and then Golden Voice,
and then Myron Golden
tells me, he tells me
your voice,
your voice, and I was sharing I was kind of like sharing a room with a friend for Fun Lacking Live again. It just, that event. If some of y'all are not, involved and connected with that, this event is life changing, and there's so many things that can be so impactful in your life if you go there. It's crazy. Anyways,
yes.
Whoever
It's
I
like
was sharing my room
same
with,
sense.
yeah. So whoever I was sharing my room, and he's like, Billy, Myron told you that, because I was telling him the story about Myron and what he told me and everything, and he's like, man, your podcast should be the Golden Voice Podcast, bro. And I was like, is that just God that's just giving me all these signs and everything? So it kind of came together like that. Myron Golden told me the thing, the Golden Voice. This guy keeps talking the Golden Voice. This guy's telling me your podcast should be the Golden Voice. I just checked the domain name; it's available. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. I have to do and launch the Golden Voice podcast.
I love that image that you have standing behind the gold microphone.
I literally took it here, and then I put the microphone in front of it, and then that's just my vision. Like, I just had that vision. I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, it's gonna have to be like this. I'm kind of in the background. My face doesn't have to be prominent, because it's gonna be about them, not just about me. And then just the gold microphone there with the writing, and then boom.
Yes, I'm gonna post an image of that superimposed over this interview, and also I'm gonna leave some links around for it. And I just want to ask now, I don't think I'm a talented singer. I definitely don't have a golden voice like you, but I'd like to just give it an attempt here real quick.
Cool. Okay. What you trying to do?
What?
What you trying to do? You gonna rap or you gonna sing?
I'm just gonna sing.
Okay, go ahead. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's see what you got.
I'm just gonna sing a song that I was listening to this past weekend, Um, it's an old school song, and it's
All right.
I used to be commander in chief of my pimp ship, flying high, until this pretty little miss shot me out the sky. Ooh, she shot me out the sky. Sometimes love comes around and it knocks you down. Just get back up when it knocks you down, knocks you down.
There you go, bro. At least you got the lyrics down. That's cool, man. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, what's that, like
Yeah.
5 stars? Yeah,
Five,
give me.
5-star mental marketer style. There you go. Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, oh yeah, the voice show.
The
Now,
voice.
and you mentioned about creating assets, and and there was, you talked about this when you were talking about making assets for and beats, and the best assets are those IP assets, the intellectual property assets from books, courses, masterminds, coaching programs, and in your case, the beats, because
Right.
yeah, because the world is changing so fast and people are looking for a way to make it on the new landscape. And for those of us that know how to do something really, really cool, then we can charge people to teach it to them. And
Right.
and then you take that asset and you turn that asset into an offer. And an offer is not just like my widget. An offer is not even like a book, or an offer is the transformation that that book can bring you, or in your case, the transformation that those beats can bring. So if
Right.
you have a beat, and you put together these beats, those beats do more than just uh you know, you go to a beat, right? And this beat is an asset, but the book itself is not the asset. Set the transformation that you get from uh, publishing that beat, that's the asset. That's the value. The intellectual property is the asset, and that's the thing that makes it valuable. So for me, yeah, and for me, I love saying that I teach people how to discover resources that they have already, turn those resources into an offer, and then go out, make that offer in the marketplace, and get paid to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And what I usually do, and that's a different approach, you know, as a music producer, yes, I can serve the artist community with instrumentals, beats, and stuff like that, but then I also want to help them market and put the music that they're gonna make with my beats out there with some effective music marketing strategies, things like releasing the music, help them build a following of music lovers that are gonna listen to their music, marketing the music so that they can get new listeners for it every single day. So it doesn't just come with the beats. I like to offer the beats and the marketing strategies that they're gonna use to put that music out that they're gonna make with my beats out there. So yeah.
Yes, and was the transformation that you provide is turning them from starving artists into a funded, a well-funded artist that is not worried about going broke, but they're being able to focus on their passion while having income come in, and they don't have,
Exactly.
and they're not having to, you know, drive Uber.
Right? Strictly rely on that. Although that can be a part of their journey, so that they can use that as an angel investor for their music business. But you know, there's ways that they can turn that around, use that to their advantage to build something that's gonna surpass them having to do that, so that they can have passive income that then funds their music business, so that they can let go of that and go more about focusing on making and marketing that music. So yeah.
Awesome, 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 man. I'm super excited about everything that's coming up for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to be right there. I'm going to be commenting.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and yeah, send me those beats, and I'll let I'll use some of
Definitely.
that beats. Well, I think I told you the beat that I really liked, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
That
one
one
that I
clip.
did on live that one time.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, man, this is really great. This is really good. That's really awesome.
I'll send it to
But
you.
yeah, yeah, now we'll just, I'll definitely put your all your contact information around so everyone can check out that podcast. I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited for you. Um, Proud of you. Congratulations with everything that you're doing. Much success, and maybe we'll talk again when look a year down the line to see how things are going. We'll see how successful things are with the golden voice. Just don't forget about us when your podcast goes to #1 on the charts.
Definitely not.
To #1 on the charts, and I'll leave you anything you'd like to say before we sign off.
So the importance for anybody or anything that we're doing is consistency. That's the key. So many times, and I've been guilty of that, is haven't been consistent enough on myself. But once I decided to really commit and stay consistent with whatever it is that I'm focusing on, this is where the results happen. And one more thing that I want to share is, that's something that I got from, Myra Golden as well, because he's something that's really inspired me to my journey right now. He said something like, "There's no such thing as it doesn't work." Okay, so we might think, "Oh man, this thing that I'm doing, it doesn't work." But there's no such thing as it doesn't work. It actually works either on you, because you have to learn, and you learn from your failures, you learn from your experience, and you still grow that way, right? Because you take the lessons from that, and then you repeat it again without making those same mistakes, or it works for you, and that's where the success is. So you have to pay attention to that. There's no such thing as it doesn't work. It either works on you to make you grow as a better person, right? So that you can become the better person, and then it works for you. So consistency is key, so that you can work on it. Let's get it.
It's gonna work on you until it starts working for you.
Exactly.
And then in that time, you look at, well, some people look at it as the failures are not really the failures. They're not failures. It's how you frame it and how you take the lesson out of that and let it work on you until it starts working for you. That's some great words. Couldn't have ended any better. So with that, we will see you on the next one.
God bless, brother. Appreciate it.
Are you an entrepreneur that either has an online business or wants to start one? If so, you've probably found out quickly that selling online is not as easy as it seems. I mean, here we are in the greatest time ever to have an online business. You see others crushing it, but you're still struggling to get even just a few sales. Well, with all that's available to you, if you're not getting sales, followers, and engagement on social media, then you're doing something very wrong, and you need to get this under control quickly. If you don't, you could be wasting years of your life before you see any results, and you'll be missing out on the greatest, easiest free sales opportunity in history. It's not your fault, and luckily for you, I've built a 6-figure business online, and I've made all the mistakes so you don't have to. And I've created a 5-day digital product mastery challenge. The mission of this challenge is to empower you, to inspire you, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all the resources you need to execute on your vision and have the impact and ultimately serve the people you were called to serve at the highest level. In this 5-day challenge, you'll discover resources that you already have, turn those resources into an offer, and go out and make that offer in the marketplace and get paid. You'll find your ideal customer, create an irresistible offer they can't refuse, build an automatic sales machine to convert your ideal customers, and cha-ching, collect payments. I run this challenge once a month, so just head on over to thementalmarketer.com/digital product mastery and sign up for the challenge. Or you can text digital product mastery to 678-506-7543. That's Digital Product Mastery, all one word, to 678-506-7543. You'll get a text back immediately with a direct link to sign up, or just check my Facebook profile. I run this challenge every month, and my profile cover will show the dates and times. I go live every day inside of the group. There are interviews with other online millionaires, special guests, free audio courses and swipe files, prizes and giveaways, and a bunch of cool stuff. I want to see you in there. Find the link around this video or text me. Let's go!